What's up, everybody? It is DJ, the Sports Blurred, and I am back. Hopefully, you missed me. Guys, I need your help. Maybe there is something I'm not getting. I was watching a Joel Klatt show the other day, and he had a surprise team ranked number one in his preseason polls. Run the clip. Go ahead, run the clip,
Huge
please.
announcement right after this number one team in the country. My number one team in the country, as it was to end the spring, is going to be Penn State. I'm huge on blueprints, folks. You know this. And in the last 2 years, we have seen the blueprint that goes out there and wins the national championship. That is an experienced team with an experienced quarterback with a lot of guys that come back. They spurn the NFL. They come back. There's a chip on their shoulder. There's a tough loss in their rearview mirror, and they go out there, they right the ship, and they get it done.
Penn State. Penn State. Penn State is ranked number one in his preseason polls. Maybe I don't understand. Help me help myself, y'all. Give me a reason why Penn State should be ranked number one. Listen, maybe it's just because I've seen them lose so many times. I had somebody in the comments in my last video, he's a Penn State fan. He said, James Franklin, he's not going to win the big one until he wins the big one. And he was like, you guys have a head coach that until this year had to go through some stuff himself. And he made a good point. But I countered his point by saying, yes, Ryan Day really has struggled in some of his games. However, the only team that Ryan Day's consistently struggled in beating was Michigan. I mean, right now he's 0-3, 0-4 against them. But in his top 5 matchups, Ryan Day's 7-6. James Franklin is 1-18. On every big stage I've seen Penn State and James Franklin take, they've always had it run down their leg. Here's the thing. Here's what I keep hearing about Penn State, and I come off as a Penn State hater. I'm really not. I like the team. I wish them nothing but the best. But let's be honest here, y'all. This is the one thing that Penn State fans and Penn State people who keep picking them number one to go preseason to play in the national championship. This is what they keep saying. They have so much talent. They have so many returning guys. Their quarterback returned. They're returning all these guys. Now, on a side note, the one thing that does scare me with Penn State is their defense. They've always had a solid defense, and that defense just got a little bit better when they took Ohio State's defensive coordinator. But that brings me to my overall point. They have so many people coming back. And do you know why they have so many people coming back? It wasn't just to win a national championship. It ultimately comes down to they weren't good enough to make the league. I'm an Ohio State fan, no doubt about it. Listen, I'm biased. I drink the Kool-Aid every year. I think Ohio State's going to go undefeated and win a national championship every year. But I want you to hear me when I say this. One of the reasons why it doesn't impress me that they have so much talent coming back is because they don't know what it's like to have the luxury of having so much talent. Ohio State has that luxury. What do I mean? What do I mean by that? I'm glad you asked. So Ohio State this year, I want to say, tied the record with Georgia. I think it's like 17 or 19 overall NFL draft picks that they had. Crazy story. They had 4 people go in the first round alone, right? But that being said, Ohio State always has talent behind the guys that that left. As a matter of fact, think about this. At one point in time, C.J. Stroud was filling somebody's position. Ezekiel Elliott was filling somebody's position. He was the guy that you didn't even know at that time, right? You think that the running back that before Ezekiel Elliott was there, there's no way. I think it was Carlos Hyde. There's no way he can be better than this guy. And then you get an Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott leaves. Then you get a J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins leaves, and so on and so on and so on. Ohio State does not restock. They reload. Ohio State's 2 and 3 deep, their 2 and third stringers could probably beat 80%, if not more, of the Big Ten. So when I hear a team like Penn State, they're ranked number one because they're bringing so much talent back, that just means that you just had good players, not great players before, and you're just returning a bunch of good players. But Ohio State has so much talent. Think about this. You remember a guy named Joe Burrow? Yeah, he was like third string at Ohio State. Then we went to second string. Dwayne Haskins ended up beating him out that spot. We have so much talent that a guy like Joe Burrow can go to LSU and win a national championship and win a Heisman. That's just one guy, DJ. You're crazy. Okay, Kyle McCord. Remember him? he gets a bad rap. I thought he was a good quarterback. I didn't think the loss to Michigan and then some of our other failures were on him alone. But think about this. He was a good quarterback at Ohio State, but he's going to be largely forgotten. He went to Syracuse the very next year and set every ACC record that you can set. The talent that Ohio State has is almost unthinkable. You'd have to bring in a team like Texas that can almost match these guys talent for talent. You'd have to bring Alabama in their heyday. What Ryan Day is building at Ohio State should be studied. What James Franklin is building at Penn State is commendable. No problem. I'll give you that. But to put them preseason number one, help me. Again, maybe I just don't get it. Maybe I've been drinking so much Ohio State Kool-Aid, I can't even fathom that there's another team in the Big Ten that can actually rival them. At least not Penn State. Anyways, that's just my rant for today, y'all. Joel Klatt really surprised me when he put out Penn State being number one. Texas was number two, and Ohio State was number three, the defending national champions. Of course, we have questions. But if I know anything about Ryan Day and those Ohio State Buckeyes, I'm telling you, them guys always got an answer for it. All right, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know if you think I'm off base. Let me know if you think it was a terrible take. Let me know. You guys are really starting to come out. I love talking to you guys. I love debating you guys. I love it all. If you're here this far, like, comment, subscribe. Please, pretty please. I'm trying to build a community of guys and gals, that know college football. And it just seems like I get a lot of people who really know their stuff. So I want you to be a part of the community. I'm asking you, please. Join the Sports Brothers channel, man. I'd really appreciate it if you guys did. I can't thank you guys enough for your time, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, great rest of your day, whenever time you're watching this. Take care, man.